Hi, it's Wesley with Expand-A-Craft once again. We are going to go over the sailboat kit, including the new rudders that we're offering. This is a wood rudder. It's going to be coated with an epoxy resin. And we're going to go over more about that towards the end of the video. We're going to totally deconstruct this rudder and show you how you can make one yourself, or you can just buy it from us, because it is quite a bit of work and there's a lot of things that go into making this rudder. All right, so this particular rudder is not made for this particular boat. So I'm just showing that that's the action, how it is, because this one, obviously the bottom piece, the bracket, which is part of the kit. If you have a pointy back canoe, we're going to sell this kit separate from this. If you have a flatback canoe, essentially you'll have two of these. That's the black, it's a starboard, king starboard. We're going to show you how to heat bend the starboard, so if you do it yourself, then you can just copy what we do, or you can buy it from us. So when it's done, it will sit on here like so, and made up with this side, and this is clear out of the water, so you're not going to, even though you do have to drill holes into your canoe, it's way out of the water line. Now, we'll talk more about this towards the end of the video, and we're about to show you some more about the rest of the sail kit. Okay, now we're going to talk about the chain plates. The chain plates for a sailboat, that's what's going to hold the mast up. Now right now I just have it temporarily tied up so that I can get my chain plates ready. What the kit will come with is the stainless steel hoops here, and then we'll make special cables with swedged fittings that loop around these, and they'll come up, both of them, to a point. The point is going to be just above here. That's where you need your shrouds to be if you buy the kind of sail rig that we're going to recommend. I use what's called a snipe rig. A snipe is a sailing dinghy, and we're going to give you everything that you need to copy what we've done. We had to test many times where does this sail mast want to live. I've tested it on the forward cross tube. I've tested it on the middle cross tube. This was too far forward, that was too far back. We've tested it along this runner here. Now we know where it wants to live. And now that we know where it wants to live, I know where the shrouds need to be, and I know where the forestay needs to be. This will be part of your kit. Of course, it'll come looking a little bit better. This is just a prototype. We're going to make it look neat and tidy. And it comes with this special foot that fits neat and tidy, so that it makes it easy for you to step the mast. Now, we're going to come forward to the boat and show you the bowsprit. All right, now we're at the bow of the boat, and this is what I call a bowsprit. It's a smaller one. You can actually add another one way out to run a screecher, but this is for the jib. But we do this, if you'll notice, it's screwed into the canoe itself, and it has a bolt through here. This is 1/2 inch thick starboard. Very, very durable, because this is where the pressure really comes down, here and on the other standing rigging. If you're a sailor, you know what I'm talking about. So it really needs to be stout, and you cannot just take a plastic canoe or a thin walled canoe and affix a bolt to it. It'll just tear it right through the canoe. So that's why it has all of these bolts down here, is to involve more and more of, in this case, plastic. If you have an aluminum canoe or fiberglass canoe, you still need to spread that load so that you can rake down on that mast, because there's a lot of pressure with a sailboat, you know, on the standing rigging. And you don't want to cheap out on the standing rigging. Just like with the rudder, I build a rudder to really be durable. One of the things that fails most often when you're sailing is the rudder. And that's why I built it as sturdy as I did, because you don't want to go backing into a shallow area, put a lot of pressure on the spindles and the rudder itself, and bling, broken. Now you can't steer. Good luck with that. So this is part of what we're going to supply you for a sailboat kit. Everything you need, all the measurements of where to put every bit of the standing rigging and the mast will be available in a kit. All you need to do is get a 16-foot canoe or 17. You can even put a larger canoe if you find one. This kind of rig does work on a 12-foot sailboat, but not with the measurements that we're giving you for the black and tan. This is a pretty good performance rig. We've had it sailing at double digits before. It goes upwind nicely. We will also talk more about the little stubby center of lateral resistance is given by these keels that we put on, these 8-foot long keels, but they're shallow, so I can still sail this boat in a foot of water. Not too shabby. Now we're going to pause here for a moment, and then we're going to the shop and deconstruct that rudder. All right, we're back here in the shop, and I'm going to deconstruct what we have and kind of explain what we're doing here. Now, this swings up. You have a hole here that swings up, and there'll be guides here so that that rope will hold it in the up position so that it's not sitting in the water while you're at camp or if you're paddling or going sailing. And then there's another one that will bring it down. So I'm going to take this apart. In the previous video, we showed you how to shape this foil. If you'll notice, it's not just a board with routed edges. It's shaped into a foil. It's wood, and it does take quite a lot of time to really shape it down to the right size. What we're trying to do is keep laminar flow on the blade so that it's an efficient and slick through the water kind of thing. So video 1 will tell you a little bit about that. Now when you buy this from us, it comes with everything assembled except this. Of course, it helps if you have an impact wrench, or impact tool, not a wrench. So you get the screws, and this all comes to you like this, so that it ships flat. Least expensive way to do it. But what I do is, I thought I would take this apart and show you, if you're going to do this yourself, what you have to do to make sure that you don't make mistakes, as sometimes we do. First thing is, we got to make sure that the holes that we drill are pre-drilled. So you have to make your this is a starboard. So you have to make this, and we're going to show you a little bit about how to do heat bending on starboard. You could make something out of aluminum, angle, make it a 2-part thing. It's not as neat and tidy, and certainly not as durable as this marine grade plastic. It is nearly indestructible. So anyway, we have a jig that we put these in and get them nice and neat. And if you do it correctly, come in closer. Then the holes line up in the middle of the board. You have to pre-drill. You drill not to the outermost point of the threads, but you drill to what the solid shaft part is so that the threads bite in, but it doesn't spread the wood open, because you'll notice it's on the grain. So you don't want to open it up, especially if there's any water inundation that gets in there. It'll tend to open it up, especially if it freezes like it did last night. Yes, it freezes in Florida, but we're in North Florida, almost South Georgia. So here we did drills, but it turned out that we drilled on a knot. So in my selection of wood, it just so happened to be that there was a knot where the screw needed to go. And what it did was it broke through. So for this one, you would not get this in your purchase. We're throwing that away. And we're going to have to remake it. You will get a perfect one, and if you buy it from us. But you've got to realize too that it's possible. It could happen to you, and you're going to go back to the store, get you some more wood, and then the screws as well. The small packages in the big box stores, you're going to pay about quarter or more for each screw. And then you've got the resin. The resin coating for this, you're going to need about 24 ounces, which is about 30 bucks. In most places, 30, 40 bucks for the coating. But if you buy it from us, it comes with the coating. I think we have it as $225 as of Christmas Day 2022. And here we are the day after Christmas. Hope you had a good one. That's pretty much it, except one more thing I want to show you about heat bending. Pause it right here. And okay, so here I am at the heat bending station. This is one of the finished products. Now, you don't have to go out and have a metal jig made, because I made hundreds of these things. It's actually, this is what the old risers used to be like in Expand-A-Craft, and this is how I made them. I would put a straight piece of the starboard into my jig. You can make a wood jig if you're going to just make 4 of these or 6 of these, or just 2 of them, that is, for the rudder. You can do so. So it starts out straight, like so. And what I do is I take the heat gun after clamping it down the way you saw me, and then I go on the inside and on the outside, and I do about 3 minutes of heat, not in one place too long, otherwise you ruin the piece of material. You melted it too much, you're screwed. And so then you do the same thing over here. But you have to waste a little bit, because you have it a little bit longer so that you can then pry this shut. So you pry it shut, you let it sit and cool, and then it's the right shape. So then you can cut it down to however much clearance that you need for your boat. Or you can buy the kit from us for $225, and we'll ship it to you. Expand-A-Craft.com. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button so that you get to see more and more of these videos. Wesley, Expand-A-Craft.com.